Welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about serverless, a topic that really gets me excited. It allows me, in less than 5 minutes, to build an application that analyzes a sentiment to a predefined keyword on Twitter and publish it live to Power BI. Check this out. So here we are in my Azure subscription. I go to New, I say I want the Logic app, I hit Create. It's gonna ask me for a name. Let's call it Vlog Serverless. I say to deploy it in the existing resource group. Here Vlog Serverless in North Europe. I say please create. Now the Logic app is really where most of the magic happens, where you can drag and drop everything together, what happens with a trigger and where you want to go from there. As you can see, you have a variety of different tools or workflows that you already can take, or like in today's case, I'm going to start from a blank Logic app. You see here now a group of different triggers that you can already use without you having to really code anything at all. So here today, as mentioned, I want to use Twitter. So I'm going to collect Twitter and say as a trigger. So as soon as a tweet, Microsoft in it, for example. Here I can say how often it should check. I'm gonna say every 15 seconds. We can also do it every 5 seconds, for example. Now here you see I'm already connected to my own Twitter, Dave Kurth. I could change the connection, I leave it. Now I can add an action. So the next thing after the tweet is posted, I want to analyze the sentiment, and for this I use cognitive services. So I can click here on text analytics, then I say detect sentiment, and then now I have to describe what does he have to analyze, the input, and that would be the tweet text. So here I can go for tweet text, put it in here. That's it. Then I say next step. And as a next step, I'm gonna call up a function that we wrote that basically takes that feedback, because cognitive services is gonna analyze the sentiment and give you a value back between 0.1 to 1. 1 is positive, 0 is basically super negative. And here we have an app, I show you the code in a little bit, where it basically just differentiate if it's less than 0.3, make it red, if it's less than 0.6, make it yellow, and above 0.6, make it green. But it's really just a few line codes, but we already have that ready for now. I choose an Azure function, here the Vlog Serverless, the HTTP trigger in C#, and here we take the score that the cognitive service is putting out, we take it in here, and then from here we basically go into Power BI. But to do that, we really need to prepare quickly Power BI. So in my Power BI, I'm on my workspace, I create a new data set, and I need a streaming data set as I push live data in it. I click on API, I can make a name, Vlog Serverless, and now I have to define what information I'm expecting to be landing in that data set. Now I want a historic data, I click on Create. I go back in my Logic app. Now here I can choose Power BI. Say I want to add rows to a data set. And now he basically wants me to categorize for each of the tweet tables or of the tables what information I'm going to feed in. Now I basically just hit save. So we have basically our empty Power BI report. Just think about how short time it took us to build a complete app that can analyze the sentiment, publish it to a Power BI dashboard, super powerful tool. But as promised you, let me just quickly show you the Azure function so you know how little code that was there. So here you see the category, green, red, yellow. this is basically all the code that I mentioned to you that takes the score that comes back from the cognitive services and categorizes that. Now think about how powerful this tool is. You can build an app without deploying a server. And the best thing is you don't have to pay for anything. It's really just trigger based. So now every time a transaction is coming in, I'm getting billed, but very little. And I can scale it infinitely anywhere in the world that I need it. But if no trigger is done, the user is not interacting with the app, I literally pay nothing. It's not like I have 10 servers that I constantly pay and then, it scales up or it scales down. I have 0 server, I pay nothing but storage. So super powerful, and I leave it up to you what you can do with it, and I look forward to comments. I hope you enjoyed today's vlog and that you learned something and that you're now also as excited as I am about how powerful this is and what it can do for you. And with that, I say thank you very much for taking the time of watching this video, and please comment as in the past and reach out to me if you have any questions or if you would like me to cover anything in a future vlog.